Finally, it's here. Collectors have been asking for this for years. The Hitcher, being released by a boutique label. So let's take a look at getting it ordered. What the f? When does being a collector become too costly and sometimes get too much to handle? With all of the new movie releases, it can be kind of difficult to keep up, can't it? Not only with all the new releases hitting the shelves in physical form, but also all the new movies that hit the numerous streaming services that we already pay for. Is there a breaking point somewhere? Not just for the watching, but for the buying as well. Generally, a newly released movie will cost you around, what, £15? But with the increase of the amount of boutique label releases coming out, those prices seem to be being pushed further and further up with what we'd pay for various releases. The recent announcement of The Hitcher, it's a movie many of us have been waiting years for. But if you want that nice hardbox limited edition, then it's going to come at a price. And this price is sat at a whopping £50. Yes, Second Sight also offer the standard edition at the same time of release. But we're collectors. A lot of us want to try and reach for that nice limited edition for the shelf. So, in 2024, is it now getting more and more important to set ourselves a monthly spend budget? We all want to continue buying for our hobby, but is this getting to be a habit that can lead some of us into a mountain of debt? I've never set myself budgets in the past. If there was a title that I wanted, then generally it was a pre-order without a second thought. And I've been burnt doing this in the past. And I managed to rack up quite a mighty credit card debt. I've got that all cleared now, it's all gone. But I don't think I ever actually learned from my mistakes. And I just continued to think very little about what I was ordering. Cut to now, sat here in perhaps a little midlife crisis, considering why I've been collecting so much and the general habits and addiction to collecting and accumulating more and more stuff. Seeing these prices of releases creeping further and further up, even though I've been limiting my spending on some releases, I'm now considering, do I also need to budget? What sort of budget do I even need to set for myself to maintain this hobby? And how much is too much? Then it also needs to be back to the consideration of if we actually need the nice limited hardbox editions. Yeah, sure, they look nice on the shelf, but do I really need that nice pretty box set of a movie that I'm not really a massive fan of? With The Hitcher, it's a movie I enjoyed, but I wouldn't say it's a favourite or a classic for me. I mean, I've already got it here on my shelf.
Once you've met The Hitcher, you'll never pick up another.
I've got a nice media book edition that was imported from Germany, and I have a nice book that was done by Arrow Video that I still haven't read. With the pre-order for this title, it's a difference of between £20 and £30 between the limited edition box set and the standard releases. That difference can literally buy me 2 other newly released movies if I was to budget and consider why I actually want the title. Releases in general are getting too many and too often for many of us to be able to keep up with everything. Even if you're able to buy everything, is there time enough in your day to be able to actually watch everything? We're back to that fear of missing out, which is driving us with a lot of these boutique label releases. That limited label, it pushes us into wanting to afford it all. What if it sells out? What if we miss it? Well, what if? If we miss a title, nothing happens. You just don't have that box sat on your shelf. You might have to source the movie another way if you're in that desperate need to watch it, but other than that, nothing earth-shatteringly changes. Over time, a lot get re-released or get new editions. So, is it really that important to either send yourself into a debt spiral or cause yourself all the stress and mental anguish in trying to chase everything? Your hobby, your collection, it shouldn't ever cause you money issues. It shouldn't ever cause you stress. You shouldn't have to be worrying about affording to keep up with others just because. We don't all need it all. Sure, sometimes we might want it all, but we've got to consider what's most important. Just take a step back. If you really do need that big shiny box to feel part of the community, and if you can still just be part of the conversation without that box on your shelf. We're all here for the love of movies, not always for what we own. I've now missed a number of titles. These titles, some of them, I've been able to pick them up at a cheaper price tag further down the line. Some of the things I wanted, I've still not managed to pick up. I've been more careful and more considered over the past few months. I don't massively feel like I've missed anything. There may be the odd box set that I didn't manage to get, but I just got the standard edition later on. And you know what? This has all of the content that I'm interested in, so I didn't really need that box set anyway. With all of that said, have you ordered The Hitcher? Where do you generally stand with this sort of stuff? Do you budget for your movies? Has your hobby caused stress or debt issues, or even family issues? Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss this further.